Welcome to HowStreet.com Radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Marchese, mining analyst for the Morgan Report, which you can find online at silver-investor.com. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Great to be back, Jim.
Well, today we'll be taking a look at life appears to be coming back into the metals sector. There's been bad economic news in the U.S. We'll take a look at that. There's a hostile takeover. A mine in Quebec is producing gold like crazy, and the world's largest gold company by capitalization is trying to take it over in a hostile bid. They're raising their glasses to a new booze deal, and Edward Snowden, our favorite spy, continues to pump out new information as we speak at this moment. Well, first of all, let's take a look at life coming back into the mining and metals sector. Chris, the good news, bad news situation here?
Oh, it's definitely good news. We bottomed in on June 28th, and the metals have kind of been consolidating more or less, same with the mining shares. And there wasn't much M&A activity until recently, and typically that signals that, confirms a bottom in metals prices. Not always, but the majority of the time. And just over the last, I'd say 2.5, 3 weeks, we've seen Primero put out a bid for Brigus Gold. And as you mentioned, Goldcorp, the largest gold company by market capitalization, just put out a hostile bid for Osisko Mining this morning.
Right, so a $2.6 billion takeover attempt of Osisko's Malantic mine in Quebec, which produces between 500 and 600,000 ounces of gold a year. So that's a pretty rich property.
Yes, and you get two advanced development properties, one in prolific Kirkland Lake Camp, and an early exploration high-grade property in Mexico. So, it comes with a lot more than just Canadian Malartic. But, it's immediately accretive, increasing Goldcorp's 2014 production growth profile from roughly 3 million ounces to 3.5 million ounces.
Not a bad deal.
No, not at all. And, they did it at the perfect time, in my opinion.
Of course, with gold prices so depressed, most people are saying they have nowhere to go but up, and up by a lot. Once people realize how short the world is of actual physical gold. Because China, as you pointed out first on this show, China has been buying up every ounce of gold they can lay their hands on, and you explained they pretty well cornered the physical gold market for the entire year of 2013.
Oh yeah, and now even the Perth Mint is coming out and saying that there's going to be a shortage if, this continues. And, the Western world is still, asleep. So, it's pretty amazing what's going on.
And we have people like the dollar vigilante telling us, with the current economic conditions in the U.S., the U.S. dollar is going to have a massive slide at some point over the next few years. And the only thing reliable to trade with will be gold and silver.
Yeah, I completely agree with Jeff. I don't think the dollar is going to make it to the end of the decade. The fiscal situation is just so bad that we have to keep printing money. I mean, we've become debt-based economies never last. And now we're coming, to the very end. So, unfortunately, it's going to be hard times for a lot of Americans, except for, those who prepare for it. And even then, it's not going to be easy for them either.
Well, that's why people like Jeff Berman and other consultants are saying gold prices right now are probably as reasonable as they're ever going to be in our lifetimes. And once we have a currency crunch in the U.S. and people realize how little gold is actually out there for them to acquire, prices at some point are going to go crazy.
Oh yes, definitely. And what's so shocking to me is I've worked at an investment bank, and this whole attitude towards diversification, stocks and bonds, and that is just completely it's ignorant, in my opinion. it should be real estate, foreign real estate, stocks, maybe convertible debt, corporate debt, precious metals, things like that. Instead, most people are just being pushed upon, debt and stocks. And unfortunately, the people that, don't speak up and say they want something different are going to get screwed by their money managers.
Yeah, this is where having a good money manager is going to mean the difference between a good portfolio and a dead portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, it looks like Edward Snowden has been a very, very busy man. Some people call him a huge traitor to the U.S. Other people are calling him the best whistleblower ever. Your opinion, and tell us what else he's told us lately.
Oh, I absolutely love the guy and have so much respect for him. He was working for the NSA, getting paid by the NSA while stealing, secrets, which, the U.S. public was unaware of, which is just sickening in my opinion. So, I'm really happy that he did that. And, he's a hero as far as I'm concerned in my book, but, unfortunately he won't really be able to come back to the United States ever again.
What about the discussion where they say they should offer him amnesty to come back, perhaps on the condition he stops releasing all this stuff?
If I were him, I would still be weary of that promise.
Sure, the FBI promises they won't do anything to you, but we never said anything about the National Security Agency or some other secret group.
Yeah, they'll say, how about we send you on a paid vacation to Guantanamo?
Sure, how would you like to go to Cuba for holidays?
Yeah.
Canadians have been doing it for a long time, by the way. Still hard for Americans to visit Cuba, but Canadians have been welcome for a long time.
So apparently he's stolen 2 million classified files, which is, I guess, more than...
Well, I guess just about probably every other spy combined in the world.
Yeah, it's the biggest operation, in history. And I don't know, I just can't express how much, how highly I think of the guy. Just going against what the country said to do. I mean, not that the state is right by any means. I mean, especially what he's brought to our attention.
That everybody's being spied on in Canada, the U.S., Britain. If you speak English, they're listening.
Yeah, that's the really sad part. But, at least he brought it to everyone's attention. And more importantly, those who were oblivious in the past and aren't anymore.
And to file off, or to finish today's file, whiskey and beer giant Suntory of Japan is spending $16 billion to take over Beam, the maker of Maker's Mark Bourbon, and here in Canada, Canadian Club Whiskey. Well, Suntory, I remember years ago, they were the first to come up with a Scotch whiskey that wasn't made in Scotland, and the outrage that caused. So, they're not scared to step on toes in their effort to become one of the world's largest distillers.
Yeah, and that's good. They're trying to do something.
A little more competition in the business?
Yeah, competition is always good. It breeds creativity and innovation.
And I'm sure Mr. Suntory, or whoever's running the company right now, will promise we're not going to mess around with the formula of the beverages that you've come to know. Well, Chris, on that boozy note, I think we should call it a show. Thanks a lot for chatting with us.
Yeah.
My guest has been Chris Marchese, mining analyst for the Morgan Report. You're listening to HowStreet.com radio. Find us on Twitter at TalkDigitalNet. You can forward your comments and questions to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard.
Silver123.net is a silver saver program designed to be as simple as possible. For as little as $50 per month, you can set up and create an automatic cost average buying program that will get silver or gold sent to your door on a monthly basis. The first step to creating an account is easy. You will supply some basic information. Next, you will add a bank account from which you will schedule your purchases. Scheduling purchases makes saving easy. Silver Saver is customizable and allows you to control the amount and the date of purchase. Once you are signed up, you are then given your affiliate code. Now you can save in precious metals and also market this program. You can use email, web pages, and multiple forms of social media to share the Silver Saver program. Silver Saver will reward you generously with physical silver or gold whenever someone you refer becomes a saver. Silver Saver not only provides you with a share code, but also allows you to place your own banner ad on a website of your own. Silver Saver is one of the best ways to start saving and accumulating gold or silver, especially at these levels. Visit silver123.net and start saving today.